All right. Good evening, everyone. This is not a usual Angel in the Afternoon episode, but I figured why not? Got a lot to talk about, and I will be coming back with you guys Friday, at 7 o'clock Eastern. Sorry, I can't even speak. So, for whatever reason, I can't see my chat, so I'm gonna have to figure out some way how to do this. Hold on. Let's see here. Oops. There we go. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna have to do it like this. Because I don't have much of a choice because nothing's working right now. So, don't know why I'm glitched out, but I am. So, let's see here. Hopefully everything is well other than that because I don't know what's going on with the chat. So, everything else looks good though. So, oops. Hope everybody's had a great week. Or about to have a great week. I mean, I had to shovel like 10 feet of snow. So let's see. Oh, I forgot. Oh, that's nice. I didn't put up the thing. It's not going well so far. Let's see. Hold on, bear with me 1 second. Here we go. Oops. Oh, it'd be nice if I actually did this. Okay. There you go. Like, good God. Oopsie doopsie. Let's do that. Ah, here we go. Where are we? Oops, what the hell was that? There we go. Oh, sorry about that. Let's do that. Alright, so as everybody knows, we have Democrats grandstanding and virtue signaling about how they're going to shut down ICE funding. Huh? Well, let me know if you can hear me properly. I don't know. So, looks good. Everything looks good on what I'm looking at here. Oh, let's see. Whoops, I don't know why that popped up there. Let's see. There we go. Oh, well, that's not really doing anything. Nice. This drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. Okay, bear with me 1 second. Of course, there's always something goes wrong. Alright, let's try that now. This shit just drives me goddamn nuts. What's this? Just drives me nuts. Drives me nuts. Let's see. Let's see now. Oops, that's not the right one. Ha, here we go. About time. Democratic senators are vowing to oppose a funding bill for the Department of Homeland Security following the shooting death of 37-year-old Minnesota man. I think that's Alex. That's the VA nurse, Alex Pretti, I believe, but I assume it is because this is from yesterday. So, a stand that increases the prospect of partial government shutdown by the end of next week. Here we go, again, another a virtue signaling government shutdown. Let's see. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer in a social media post hours after the shooting said that this is what's happening in Minnesota is appalling and that Democrats would not provide the votes needed for the appropriations bill if the DHS funding bill is included, which it will be included, and Democrats will vote for it. Let's see, 6 of the 12 annual spending bills for the current budget year have been signed into law by President Donald Trump. 6 more are awaiting action in the Senate, despite a revolt from House Democrats. And where's that thing I have? Ah, here it is. This helps. Despite a revolt from House Democrats and mounting calls for Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem's impeachment, which is not going to happen, and Democrats are just wasting their time with that. If Senator fails to act by midnight on Friday, funding for Homeland Security and other agencies covered under the six bills will lapse. Democrats sought common sense reforms to the Department of Homeland Security spending bill, but because the Republicans' refusal to stand up to President Trump and the DHS bill is woefully inadequate to rein in the abuses of ICE. Chuck Schumer said of New York, I will vote no. Congratulations, you actually will vote no? Oh wow, like, am I supposed to be freaking impressed by that? Of course not. Yeah, thank you, Sean. I mean, goddamn tech, it's like drives me nuts sometimes. Let's see. My chat's still not working, so I have to physically look on the YouTube, on the YouTube chat in order to see it. So it glitched out on me, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, not a good day. It was not a good day. The White House reached out to Senate Democrats late Sunday, as has Republicans, according to Senate Democratic leadership, who insisted on anonymity to discuss the private talks, but they have not raised any realistic solutions, the aide said. Republicans will need some Democratic support to pass the remaining spending bills in time in order to avoid a partial shutdown. That support was already in question after Renee Good, the mother of three, was fatally shot and killed earlier this month by immigration and custom enforcement agent in Minneapolis. But the fatal shooting Saturday of Alex Pretti, an intensive care unit nurse, quickly prompted Democrats to take a more forceful stand, which will last all of 3 or 4 days because by Friday they will pass these bills. They may get a reform like body cams. They'll force ICE to use body cams or something, but that's the best they'll do. And then they'll act like they accomplished something when they accomplished dick. On Sunday, House and Senate Democrats convened separate conference calls as they privately assessed the next steps to press to restrain the Trump administration's immigration enforcement operations. A deal begins to unravel. Senator Patty Murray, the top Democrat in the Senate Appropriations Committee and key negotiator on the funding package, have been pushing for her colleagues to vote for the Homeland Security bill, arguing that Democrats have successfully fought off major increases to the ICE budget. But in the wake of the shooting, Murray said Sunday on X that I will not support the DHS bill as it stands. Classic politician. And right before the shooting, oh yeah, of course, support it. Go ahead. Oh, a random nurse died, and now people are pissed off about that. Oh, now I'm against it all of a sudden, even though I was demanding my colleagues to vote for it just a few days ago. Federal agents cannot murder people in broad daylight and face zero consequences. Well, they will face zero consequences. You won't do anything about it. So let's not don't blow smoke up my ass. Federal officials have defended the actions of the agents involved in Good and Preti shootings as justified. Democrats said the videos released of both shootings showed otherwise. Republicans are increasingly challenged, with some calling for thorough investigations while others stand with federal officials. The events in Minneapolis are incredibly disturbing. Bill Cassidy, Republican, Louisiana, posted on X. The credibility of ICE and DHS are at stake. There must be a full joint federal and state investigation. We can trust the American people with the truth. There will not be an investigation. The administration will do nothing, and everybody will move on, ultimately. Senator Tom Tillis of North Carolina wants a thorough and impartial investigation into the shooting and said any administration official rushes to judgment and tried to shut down an investigation before it begins are doing an incredible disservice to the nation and to President Trump's legacy. Well, President Trump himself doesn't really care, so what difference does it make? I mean, this is all just bullshit legacy. Uh, let's see. Hey, Witchy. We'll be with you guys with Witchy and Alex and Bill and Descent in Bloom apparently is coming on too on Friday. Look forward to that. But for now, I just wanted to get this live stream out of the way by myself so I can discuss this further and, deep down. We'll update this story on Friday about the possible government shutdown, which is not going to happen. I'll be shocked if they actually shut down the government over Homeland Security funding. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Democrats will shut it down temporarily and then give the administration exactly what they want. Lindsey Graham said Democrats should reconsider their threat to not support DHS funding to work with him to end the mess created by sanctuary city policies. Now is not the time to defund one of our major national security priorities, border protection, Graham said on X. The growing backlash from Democrats put Republican leaders in the Senate in a much difficult position. Much of the government, including the Department of Defense, continues to operate on a short-term bill that provides funding only through Friday. Republican leaders had hoped to avoid another shutdown after last fall's 43-day closure that revolved around Democrats' insistence on extending federal subsidies that make healthcare more affordable for those enrolled in a Affordable Care Act marketplace. Even with those goddamn subsidies, healthcare was insanely expensive, and most Americans couldn't afford private insurance. So that's why I didn't care either way whether those subsidies came back or not. Before Pretti's death, many Democrats felt the same way about a potential shutdown, leading support in the House to most of the remaining appropriations bills, with DHS being the exception. House Democrats largely rejected the Homeland Security portion last week, with just a handful joining Republicans to ensure its passage. More than 100 House Democrats called for Noam's impeachment, which is not going to happen. I mean, that's just another virtue signaling thing they toss up there. Oh yeah, let's impeach Kristi Noem and do what exactly? Donald Trump's just going to appoint somebody else who's worse than her, probably. So, I mean, be careful what you wish for. The House sent 6 funding bills to the Senate as a package, and that makes it exceedingly difficult to strip out the Homeland Security portion, which Democrats are demanding. Despite the procedural hurdles, Schumer said Sunday that Republicans should work with Democrats to advance their other 5 bills and rewrite the DHS bill. This is the best course of action. The American people are on our side, Schumer said. I hate Washington politics. The one thing I cannot fucking stand. I mean, it's just the same bullshit, and ultimately, we all know what's gonna happen. So, why am I so dark? That's a little better. Like, I don't know why I'm so dark. I'm not that ugly, or at least not yet. Let's see. We got a troll in the chat. Um, I didn't see it, so glad you guys caught it. Thank you. Whoops, made a mistake. No, not that. The path ahead is uncertain. The Senate is not scheduled to return to session until Tuesday due to the snowstorm. The House plans to be out of session this week and would have to pass a funding package again if it's changed. Democrats are pushing for policy changes to be added to the Homeland Security pending bill that would force ICE agents to use warrants for their immigration arrests, mandate strengthen this training, require agents to identify themselves, and have Border Patrol agents stay on the border rather than assisting ICE immigration raids in the interior of the country. All those sounds like sensible reforms, but the problem is Democrats won't fight for it. The only thing they'll probably get, maybe, is the agents to identify themselves and maybe body cams, if they're lucky. And then they'll act like they did something incredibly historic, and then and liberals on Twitter will have a massive freak out and talk about how Democrats are weak and pathetic and they didn't change anything, and we already know how this is going to end up. So they're going to get their funding. There's no way that DHS is going to go without funding. So we already know we already know this. You don't have to watch me or watch any. If you follow this well enough, you damn well know they're gonna get their funding. But everybody's gonna grandstand and do their virtue signaling until Friday. Connecticut Senator Chris Murphy, the top Democrat in the subcommittee that oversees Homeland Security funding, told CNN on Sunday that Congress cannot fund a department that is murdering American citizens and is traumatizing little boys and girls across the country in violation of the law. I didn't know that traumatizing boys and girls is a violation of the law. It's fucked up, sure, but violation of the law? Like, Jesus. I mean, how many parents have traumatized their children? I mean, they all be in prison right now. If traumatizing little boys and girls is against the law. All right, let's see. Democrats stake out opposition. Democratic senators discussed the option Sunday evening call, but without changes from Republicans, they appeared to be headed towards a shutdown. On a morning call with House Democrats, they heard from Minnesota Governor Tim Walz and State Attorney General Keith Ellison, both former congressmen. Several other Democratic senators announced they would vote no on a Homeland Security money, including some who helped Republicans end the record shutdown last year. The abuses of power we're seeing from ICE in Minneapolis and across the country are un-American and cannot be normalized, Senator Jackie Rosen of Nevada said on X. Um, they are normalized. What are you talking about? I mean, police have been killing citizens for decades in this country, unarmed citizens. So what are you talking about? This cannot be normalized. Why? Because the feds are doing it? That's why you're so upset about it? What difference does that make? Senator Catherine Cortez Masto of Nevada also says she opposes the portion of the package. Who cares? Because you'll vote for it ultimately. Minnesota Democratic senators also indicated they will oppose the DHS funding bill. For those asking where we go from here, not voting to fund ICE is a great place for us to start. Tina Smith wrote on X, blah, blah, blah. We oppose the ICE funding bill. We call for a full and transparent investigation with state officials, says Senator Amy Klobuchar. And we call Republican colleagues to stand up. They know this is wrong. Yeah, they know this is wrong. uh, let's see. Why the entire government wouldn't shut down. The progress that Congress made so far in funding bills mean that much of the federal government's continue would work even if lawmakers are unable to complete the job. A bill that Trump signed Friday funds the Departments of Justice, Commerce, the Interior, Environmental Protection Agency, NSA, and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to the end of the budget year, September. The Department of Agriculture was funded from a previous measure, which means that shutdowns shouldn't stop food assistance at this time, which is a whole other drama. You know, the food stamps from last year. So food stamps should be fine even if a partial shutdown does happen over DHS, which I really don't care about. But there's no way in Washington they'll actually shut down the government over DHS funding. Not gonna happen. Zero chance in hell. It's like, it's like the military. It's like they'll fund the military. They'll fund DHS somehow. So other critical operations, the government would be disruptive, disrupted. It took me 3 times to say that properly. So yeah, so there you go. Let's see. Let me see something. To fund ice is a great place for us. That's strange. All right. Let me see. Is audio's low? Maybe it is. Bear with me 1 second. Oh, I don't know why it's so low. Shouldn't be. Do 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 do. All right. Let's see. How about now? Hopefully it's a little better. Oops. Sorry about that. Hopefully it's better now because to me it seems fine on my end. But if it's still too low, I mean, I don't know how much more on the mic that I can actually make it higher. Maybe I can speak up a little bit. So, all right. So let's see. Let's go to. Wait a minute. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that. My chat has been glitched like completely, so it's not working here at all. So I'm looking at YouTube in order to see the chat. So of course, there's always something wrong with the software. My software glitched. So if you guys please haven't, yeah, if you guys please haven't, make sure you like and subscribe. I assume everybody here has subscribed. At the very least, if you guys can like, that'll be greatly appreciated. Meant to say. So let's see. My next story. Hold on a second. Let's see. I got so much crap here. No, no, not that. So hope everybody's staying warm out there and because quite frankly, I've froze my ass off today out there, shoveling out 10 inches of bullshit. So let's see. No, not that. Where are we? Not that either. Why can I find what the hell I'm looking for? It's like I try to save stuff and then it just disappears on me. It's makes me seem like I'm not goddamn prepared for the show when I am. Uh, okay, thank you for liking, Witchy. You had, oh yeah, I had just an good old fashioned shovel. I didn't actually, I didn't actually have, like a snowblower or anything like that. Where are we? Here we go. Here we go. Sorry about that. Alright, here we go. Sorry about that. Not that. Didn't mean to show that. Here we go. There's always something. Like, alright, Trump officials stick quote unquote terrorist label on American killed by DHS. And, yeah, I'm not giving you my fucking email address. I don't know why this is here. So I'm not reading this shit then. Fuck that. I'm not giving you my goddamn email address. So, that's a fail. I wasn't there earlier. I was about to read that article and then just disappeared. Just that shit appears all of a sudden. Let's read this one. Now police are losing faith in ICE. Local police departments around the country are losing faith in ICE. So let's check this out. Um, yeah, I have to give him my email to read a goddamn article. So there we go. And I'm on the YouTube channel for some reason. Ah, here. Sorry about that. It's always like some kind of. Oops, no, no, no. Too big. There we go. My chat is not working at all. And no matter where I look at, I have to go straight to the YouTube channels to see you guys' chats. The federal agent that killed a man on Saturday, Minneapolis Police Chief Ryan O'Hara said he was told on the radio that his local officers were not needed. O'Hara ordered his officers not to leave the crime scene, then requested the state's top criminal investigators take the case. When the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension investigators arrived, they were blocked by federal Homeland Security officers, the Bureau said. State crime investigators then took the unusual step of securing a search warrant signed by a judge, a rare move for a shooting in public. They were still blocked by federal officers. Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension Superintendent Drew Evans told reporters on Saturday, Saturday. This is the first time that Evans could recall state investigators with jurisdiction over a crime scene being denied access by federal officers. We are in uncharted territory here, he said. The Department of Homeland Security did not immediately reply for requests for comment. The conflict over a crime scene is emblematic of rising tensions that have been building well before Saturday between some local and federal law enforcement. Immigration and Customs Enforcement conducts high-profile operations across the country, from Metro Surge in Minnesota to Catch the Day underway in Maine. Nowhere is more tense than Minnesota, where 3,000 federal agents are on the ground in what the Department of Homeland Security has called its biggest operation yet. But friction is cropping up in a number of communities where ICE is deployed in mass over the past year. The feds don't give a fuck, and the whining from the states is kind of weak and pathetic because, like, what do you, like, they don't care. They don't care about your warrant signed by a local judge. Like, they take that paper and wipe their ass with it. Like, they don't give a fuck. Some local and state law enforcement leaders who have seen the agency's tactics up close are voicing concerns that agents have strayed away from the administration's stated focus on public safety threats. Ha, you actually believe that public safety threat bullshit? Yeah, I got a bridge to sell you. In Maine, Sheriff Kevin Joyce was among the local law enforcement officials who met with Border Czar Tom Homan nearly a year ago to hear the Trump administration's immigration policy enforcement priority, the removal of people with serious criminal records. Let's see. Let's continue reading. What is this? I don't care about that. It was a mission the 39-year-old law enforcement veteran could support, but on Thursday, Joyce publicly issued blistering criticism of federal agents accusing ICE of Bush League policing, after he said that they detained one of his correction officers, a migrant authorized to work in the U.S., on a roadside in Portland, Maine. I am not anti-ICE by any stroke of the imagination, but they moved the goalpost, and a self-described moderate Democrat said. Many police leaders say they're still combating illegal immigration, and police believe the troubling actions stem from a minority of officers. But they say that these problems undermine their efforts to put a human face on law enforcement and on the ground. I don't, boo boo boo, I really don't care about your little opinions here. Uh, Federal authorities have defended their tactics. Our operations are lawful, they're targeted, they're focused on individuals who pose a serious threat to this community. Gregory Bovino said Tuesday at a news conference in Minnesota. ICE collaborates with local and state law enforcement across the country to deport criminal migrants. DHS spokesperson Christian McLaughlin said. Uh, as recently as early December, federal agents were identified themselves as DHS investigators would arrive in Faribault, Minnesota police station lobby to inform a supervisor about individuals with criminal records they were targeting. At first, the narrative clearly fit what they're targeting people with significant criminal history. Since the new year, they're not sharing with us who they're going after. They really don't have to. I mean, they were nice to you about that, and now they're not being nice about it. So it's like, yeah, and now I think they're kind of complaining that, they're not a part of the process. Instead, they're like being left out in the cold in the dark by ICE. Four times in the past month, as officers responded to 911 calls that turned out to be ICE operations. In one instance, a caller reported being about to get shot. Police arrived to find ICE agents. Recently, a call came from a mobile home neighborhood about cars honking and driving in circles. Sherwin drove there in an unmarked car and stopped beside a vehicle with dark windows and a Texas license plate. The driver identified himself as Border Patrol. Instead, his cover were blown by citizens recognizing him. He was leaving. A resident then posted Sherwin's license plate on Facebook and falsely identified him as an ICE vehicle. Oops. I literally right down the middle with a point police chief who isn't registered to vote with the party. I can see both sides. I got caught in the middle. Regular citizens aren't the only one complaining to police about ICE. On Tuesday, several police chiefs in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area held an unusual press conference. They said federal agents had stopped, along with local residents, some off-duty police officers for no cause and asked them to prove their citizenship. Oh, that's the issue now. They're mad because ICE is pulling over off-duty cops and asking them for their papers. When it comes to normal citizens, they don't give a fuck. You don't see press conferences like this of them whining about this. But now, since it's cops, all of a sudden now they're whining. Let's see. Mark Barley, police chief of Brooklyn Park, a Minneapolis suburb, said chiefs had received endless complaints about off-duty police officers of all people of color experience the same treatment. In one case, he said one of his officers was stopped as he drove past ICE. The agents boxed her in, knocked her phone from her hand when she tried to record them, and had their guns drawn, he said. If this is happening to our officers, it pains me to think how many community members it's happening to every day, Burley said. At a separate news conference that same day, Bovino rejected the criticism about federal agents, saying everything we do is legal, ethical, moral, well-grounded in law. Bovino didn't address the Brooklyn Park allegations when asked about them. Police chiefs said their operations are affecting years of community trust building. Sherwin said calls to police for domestic violence under issues from heavily immigrant parts of the Faribault community all but stopped. The criticism comes from police leaders, including Democrats in urban areas, as well as Republicans in more rural areas. Some chiefs are scaling back their partnership with federal immigration authorities. In Western New York State, the Niagara County Sheriff, a Republican, said in recent days that the agencies will no longer hold people detained by ICE unless it's a criminal charge or judicial warrant. We will only assist individuals we know in this country with a criminal record, Sheriff Michael Filicetti said. Oh wow! Congratulations! Now you're only going to help the people with criminal records instead of everybody. I don't really care about that. Like in Maine, Sheriff Franklin County Sheriff A.J. Smith, a Florida Republican, has voiced frustration with what he called the communication problems with ICE. He publicly criticized ICE over incidents, including one of his unarmed cars and men's with guns in yards. Unnerved residents in his office had no idea it was an ICE operation. How can you not trust us? He said in a urban news conference. We have to know what they're doing. Blah blah blah. So yeah, basically the cops are mad because ICE is not letting them know what's going on, and if they let them know what's going on, then everything will be fine. So let's see here. So that's their problem. Their problem isn't anything. Think the cops can see the irony in that situation? I doubt it. No, I guarantee you they can't. Because they're mad about the fact that their officers are getting pulled over. Oops, that's what I'm looking for. Mm, So bear with me 1 second here. Okay, let's see. Oops, there you go. Do that. No, I don't want that. Sorry about that. Get rid of that crap. Okay. Well, that's nothing. Alright, so let's see. Okay, that works. Oh, well, I didn't mean to do that. Get rid of that. Well, okay, that worked, but where's the rest of my chat? You know what? That's like a sample chat that popped up there. Drives me nuts. I think I did something wrong before the show, but I'm gonna have to look into that and fix that on Friday. Let's see here. Bear with. Let's. So let me see. Witchy says I'm more than likely will be deleted for telling the fake pigs to go suck a dick. Sorry about that. Sounds good to me. No, I actually don't want you deleted, but you know what I mean. I mean, I agree with the suck a D part. I'm sorry that I hurt your feelings. I told you to go suck a D. I'll say it again. Go suck a D. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Like, we don't backpedal here. My hand is kind of losing feeling here. Oh, I got 10 likes so far. Nice. Let's see if we get to 20 before I wrap up. Um, let's see. Now we got fake Democrats here with their fake outrage. Let me go to Eric Swalwell first. Didn't he run for president and fail miserably? No, let me see. There we go. Hold on, let me make sure the audio's on. Okay, because I do. Let me know there's an echo too here because last week I tried this and there was echoes. So hopefully there's no echoes this time. So we got some fake outrage here. So let's check this out.
Americans asked the president to get rid of the most violent people in our community, and instead, the overwhelming majority of people who have been deported are not criminals. And so I would say that what has to happen to crush the ice that exists today is that the masks have come off. And these guys, they don't just wear these masks for their own anonymity; they wear it for moral cover, and they hide their identities from us and their humanity from themselves. So that their masks have to come off.
Yes, you can note the irony of how liberals now hate mask wearing, even though 5 years ago they loved it. They were all wearing masks and performatively wearing their masks. They couldn't wait to make people wear their masks. So, yes, let's note the irony there. Let's.
Period. They have to focus on the most violent people in our communities. They have to identify themselves. They're terrorizing women right now. And if they don't do that, we're going to see the loss of another nurse named Pretti and a mom named Good.
Yeah, go fuck yourself with your hypocrisy. Let's see. Let's look. Oops, that's the wrong. I didn't mean to get rid of my logo. I meant to get rid of that for a little bit. Let's see. Let's see. Witchy says, I don't care what those fake pigs call me. Uh, this was about trafficking children to their friends. Well said. What else? What else? Where are we looking at? Oh yeah, here. Is this real? Hold on, let me. Oh yeah, I'll read that. Let's see here. So let's real quick look at ICE agents putting their hands on an older lady apparently. So let me put this up on the screen. Not that. It's like, here we go. Fuck. It's like this shit drives me crazy. So this is. Let's see.
Oh, get up.
Oh, wow. So this is. I don't know. So she gets shoved on her ass on her.
Oh, get up.
It looks like that guy about to do something again. He kind of backpedaled. So there you go. ICE agents are shoving down women here. So that's great, right? That's just disgusting, but let's see. Oh, Swalwell's running for governor. Let me see what he just says here about ICE, because Cord Lord says this must be men without moms and sisters. That $50,000, I'm telling you something right now, is really tempting to these people. So that $50,000 is a lot of money. So especially for Americans that that take these jobs. So I'm not really that surprised that it's that. It's the women. It's everything. They unfortunately there's a lot of Puerto Rican, Hispanic, and Black people in ICE too. So it's not just racist white people that are in ICE. Like a lot of liberals want you to think. Let's see. Let's go with Swalwell, of course. Oops, he's running for governor. So let me see what he has to say here. Where are we? Here we go. Unfortunately, this is the only chat that's popping up for me. The rest of the chat's not working. So I don't know whether I made a mistake or whoops, I didn't mean to do that. I don't know whether I made the mistake here or the chat is glitched, but this is like a sample chat that popped up here, so that sucks because I had it working too. Uh, oh well, maybe on Friday it'll work properly. Let's see. So Eric Swalwell is running for governor. ICE agents wearing masks will lose their driver's license. All ICE agents / people who assist ICE will be barred from working for a state job again. These needs to be done in every state. There are consequences for those who sign up to become America's brown shirts. Ooh, okay, so we got tough talk here. Let's see. Let's see what Swalwell has to say for himself.
So my advice.
Let me see his virtue signaling because he's a politician, and ultimately, as we know, politicians are full of shit. So, and by the way, ICE will not quit, and you have no authority to make them quit. So you're just a low-level politician who is grandstanding and pretending with your fake tough talk. And oh, by the way, your lips are kind of, like you had a stroke there. So hopefully you're okay. Let's watch this.
So my advice to ICE: just quit. Walk off the job. For this will forever haunt you. Civilized societies don't have mass militias.
Yeah, they don't. They're not going to walk off the job. So you're just virtue signaling, grandstanding.
Swarming our streets, but Donald Trump has turned our communities into war zones. Trump's turned ICE into an angry army of cocked weapons roaming our streets with their safeties filed off. So here are the rules when I'm governor. If you refuse to unmask, you'll lose your driver's license.
You think ICE cares? I mean, they're from out of state anyway. She can't take their driver's license. All right, let's see what else.
If you work for ICE, you're disqualified from ever working for the state.
Yeah, I don't think they would care about that either. They work for the feds. So let's see.
We'll use every statute to keep you off the streets, every power to protect the people. And to ICE agents, you don't wear your mask just for anonymity. You wear your mask for moral cover. It hides your identity from us.
Again, let's note the irony of liberals like Eric Swalwell being anti-mask wearing all of a sudden, especially when they spent years demanding all of us to wear our masks.
But also your humanity from yourself. It allows you to commit atrocities. So my advice to ICE: quit.
They're not going to quit.
Walk off. And do it now.
They're not going to do it. Why? Because you said so? There you go. That's what they're going to tell you.
Before you kill another nurse named Pretti or a mom named Good.
Don't vote for Eric Swalwell, by the way. You live in California. Don't vote at all, in fact. But if you're going to vote for everybody, not for Eric Swalwell. He's going to fuck himself. Let's see here. That's... Uh, I don't know why there's an echo. Like, that really pisses me off at times. Um, is it echoing off my mic? It probably is. Hold on. I'm gonna try muting my mic for the next video. It's probably echoing off my mic. That's what it is. I think I discovered why the videos are echoing. Even though it shouldn't. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. I have to figure that out because I'm pretty sure it's probably echoing off my mic, even though it shouldn't be. Alright, so let's see. Let me know if there's an echo for the next video because I'll mute my mic and we'll try it like that. Let's see here. So thank you everybody for joining me in this kind of impromptu stream here. Let me see. Oops, not that. Oh. Oops. So let me try this video and see. Let me know if there's an echo because I'm just gonna mute my mic and see whether that's the issue with the echo or not. Because for some reason there shouldn't be an echo. But of course, there always is an echo. It's always something goes wrong with OBS. Maybe I'm the one that's. So where are we? Where are we? Oh, here. Why am I? It's like this is just insane. Here we go. I'm just showing you guys my OBS, my restream, everything. You don't need to see any of that. Greg Bovino said we'll never learn the dignity. I can't read English. The identity of the agent who killed Alex Pretti because that would be quote unquote doxing. He removed the agent from Minnesota's jurisdiction, put him back on the job, and sealed his identity. It's not an investigation; it's a criminal cover-up. So let me know if there's an echo. Let me try turning off my mic here. So I'll be back in a moment. Oops.
Commander Bovino, when it comes to the shooting, from what I understand, there were 2 agents who fired shots. We know one of the agents had 8 years experience, and we know he was a less lethal instructor and had this training. What did the other agent, what was his history, and are they both working right now, or are they on administrative leave?
All agents that were involved in that scene are working, not in Minneapolis, but in other locations. That's for their safety. There's this thing called doxing, and the safety of our employees.
Doxing. There's a thing called doxing. Motherfucker's full of shit. I did. And why is it? I don't know why it's still echoing. Like it must be playing from somewhere. That's off. That's off. Oh, a second. I gotta fix this because, oh, wait, I think alright, so it's not my mic, so let me just.
Is very important to us. We're going to keep those employees safe as far
There's something.
as the number of shots, the number of agents involved.
Oh, now I'm hearing an echo. There's a setting here that I don't know about right now, which I'm gonna have to figure out before Friday because now I'm hearing an echo and I don't know why. Let me try it now.
Involved in that again is going to come out in the
Unless it's an echo from the room area
investigation.
I'm hearing. I don't know. Cause, oops, no. Again, you don't need to see that. It's like I got so many tabs open right now that it's just, and I gotta get this like completely like down by before Friday because I'm not gonna. I don't want to keep doing this. Um, I'll figure out that setting before Friday. I'm sorry about the echoes. It's just it's running fine. The videos seem to be running fine, but just for whatever reason there's a goddamn echo and I can't figure out why right now. I don't want to do it while I'm live, so don't need. Again, it's like I'm pressing every single tab here. So you know what? I'm just going to read some articles to you guys. Because there's an echo. I don't know why there's an echo, and I have to figure out before Friday. So let's try. Because I'm probably how long I've been live for? An hour? Probably got another 15 minutes. So yeah, we're still working out the kinks. Unfortunately, I don't know why there's an echo to the videos, but the videos seem, from the way I'm looking at them, they seem to be running well. So, and there's no glitches on the internet here. So let me see. Nice. Nice to nice censoring. Ah, this is a new one. This is what we all been kind of. Wait, it's not. Well, this is a video. I can't. I'm not gonna play this right now. So hold on. Tick. Huh. So TikTok had an outage today. Let me see. TikTok has also been censoring people left and right. So hold on. Here we go. I'm just gonna read you guys some articles because I'm not. I can't figure out why there's an echo to the videos still, and I thought maybe it's echoing off my mic, but it's obviously not because I muted my mic and it's still echoing. So TikTok blames its U.S. problems on a power outage. Oh wow! So what? Did you plug in TikTok to a 499 power strip and it just went out? That's what it seems like. The new owners of US TikTok has an explanation for this weekend's problems, and they say they're working on it to get things back online. TikTok says a power outage is causing ongoing issues and outages that started in the US early Sunday morning in an email to The Verge. TikTok USDS spokesperson pointed to a statement posted the joint venture's newly created X account, which says the company's been working to restore our services following a power outage at a US data center impacting TikTok and other apps we operate. So this is the since yesterday, we're working to restore our services following power outage at a U.S. data broker center impacting TikTok and other apps we operate. We're working with our data centers to stabilize our servers. Sorry for this disruption. So yeah, TikTok is having issues. I didn't know about it because I really didn't care, but that was interesting because I'm more interested in TikTok censoring people, censoring pro or anti-Zionist people on TikTok. In fact, I wish I saved that video. I wouldn't play the audio because I'm having like issues with it. Audio, obviously, but hold on. TikTok Epstein. Here we go. Like, I want you guys to look at this. Oops, hold on. Let me check the chat again. So yeah, Witchy is right. Well, I don't know about AWS taking out half the internet. I won't be surprised. I mean, because everything else worked fine for me today. But let's see here. Oh, I got to, you don't need to see me twice. Where's the, uh, here it is. Sorry about that. So this is allegedly on TikTok. This is what I was talking about. Days after the U.S. took majority ownership at TikTok, the word "quote unquote" Epstein has been censored. So somebody sent Epstein in a DM, I guess, on TikTok, and it says, "This message may be in violation of our community guidelines, and it has not been sent to." And has not been sent to protect our community. If you believe this was a mistake, let us know so we can review this message alongside with recent messages. All right. Sorry about that. And I needed to go do something real quick, use the bathroom. So now I'm back. I'm just gonna finish this up real quick. We're gonna wrap up for tonight, but let me cover a couple more things here before I go. I'll definitely be back with you guys Friday at 7. So I was discussing this with Witchy earlier, and we're gonna have on Bill and Descent in Bloom this Friday, if I'm correct about that, because that's what I read when we were chatting, at least in text. So, oops, I didn't mean to take myself out. I gotta get this down better because there's still a lot of kinks. Not that either. Man, I suck at this. There you go. So yeah, I'll get this down for sure. There's gonna be kinks and there's gonna be issues. So yeah, let's see here. So let's see the chat here. I don't know why it's so low. I mean, my output's 100%. Let's see. Let me see something. The chat here. I don't know why it's so low. I mean, yeah, I mean, I sound fine here. I don't know why maybe I could speak up a little bit more, but I don't want to keep make forcing my volume to be so high. Uh, yeah, it looks fine here on OBS, so it's not that. Oops, no. There you go. I could maybe do this a little bit more. So yeah, we have Ric Flair in the chat. Trump 2028. Trump's not running again, dude. So no, not gonna happen. Let's see here. Go back. So again, so TikTok has just been like censoring people left and right. You can't even mention Epstein, the word Epstein in DMs on TikTok. So the new ownership at TikTok is just censoring anything to do with Jeffrey Epstein, and they're censoring anything to do with Israel, obviously being anti-Zionist. You can't do that either now. So that's another example. Let's see what else. What did I do? Oh, here. Uh, Rick, who I hope that's a troll and not just somebody who's actually saying they want Trump to run again. I'm just gonna assume you're a troll. So, let's see here. Limiter. Yeah, so let's see. What else? Real big. Yeah, so we got a shit ton of issues though with ICE. Let's see. So yeah, so I'm going to be wrapping up now because shit. I mean, I tested out everything I wanted to test out, and everything looks good. Looks like my audio may be a little bit low. I'm gonna have to probably mess with the settings here and maybe make that a little bit higher, or maybe I could speak up more on Friday. But I'll definitely have that problem like fixed up, and also the video, the echoes. I'm so sorry about the echoes. I mean, I even heard it on my headphones. I don't know why there's an echo. I'm gonna have to dig in deep and maybe figure that out. Watch, it'll be something so simple and so stupid that I'm just going to kick myself the rest of the week. So, Vince McMahon's evil mustache. Oh no. If you guys haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. So, that's very important. Let's see, how many likes do I have? 11. Not bad. Not bad for an impromptu stream. So, let's see here. Vince McMahon's evil mustache. All right. So make sure you check out, yeah, special guest star Bill in Descents in Bloom. So I gotta set that up. I gotta set up. I gotta make sure the videos are good. I got to need to make my mic a little bit higher. Is that when I hear my voice, I sound fine. So I don't know if it's just my headphones or if it's actually too low. Gotta look into those settings more. But make sure you check that out Friday, Angel in the Afternoon with Bill and Descent in Bloom and Alex and Witchy and myself, of course. Also make sure you check out Pro Wrestling Talk on Sunday at 7 because we're gonna be watching Royal Rumble and we're gonna be have to review both Saturday night's main event and the Royal Rumble. So that'll be Sunday at 7. So make sure you check that out. And make sure you like and subscribe. Uh Yeah, I don't know why it's so low. Like it shouldn't be. I'll play with the settings, I guess, and that's okay. I'm glad you're telling me because I'm gonna have to play with my settings and maybe, make it a little bit higher or take off something. So, uh, I don't know why. I mean, it seems to be fine here. But okay. Appreciate all these comments because I need to figure that out. So I guess there's a setting here that I'm putting in which is not correct or something. Or maybe because I do have the noise reduction on my mic, maybe I could speak up. That could help. But if not, then I'll look at my settings and figure out what I can lower and what I shouldn't lower. So yeah, I'll play with the settings and I'm gonna see you guys Friday for the next episode of Angel in the Afternoon. I should just do that because I don't need that anymore. So I also fixed this chat because it just straight up just glitched out on me here. So yeah, so thank you very much for watching, everybody. Make sure you give me that good old like and that subscribe button. Share the stream. Check out INN the rest of the week. We're gonna have Indy tomorrow at 10 doing his show. We're gonna have Colin and Reef doing INN News, I would assume. Thursday is Indy again, and then Friday I'm back with you with all of my guests. I mean, we're gonna have like a ton of goddamn guests already kind of set up for it. There we go. Before Friday. Oops. Let's do that. I like being in the middle. So there you go. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Give me that like and subscribe. Have a nice weekend. Have a nice week, and I'm gonna see you guys on Friday. So